write this site, courses, funnels, emails, everything I know except the database, right?
Okay. So you can't clone a site, but you can add a site to your system. So when you add a site, it's a brand new, fresh dashboard that's being added to the plan that you have. So you can't clone a site, but you add a site to your plan that you have purchased, whether it's a pro or a premium plan.
Because you have three sites, right, inside Zenler.
Correct.
So I use one, and at the beginning I was compiling two topics, different topics, finances and yoga. But now I want to divide them. Yes, I know it's crazy, but now I want to divide them. That's why it's my question, because I have already set some forms and things that are important for both. So that is why I want to clone it, because in that way I don't have to work again, no, to do them again.
But I have to tell you, you can reach out to the support team and see if they can help you out. But the only way here is to add a new site to your plan and then do everything from scratch on that site. What you can do is there's a way of picking up code from the Zenler site for your designs, for your funnel pages that you might have designed. So you can pick up the code of your designs and use it on the other side that you have created for faster designs, so that you don't have to go through the whole process. But
Ah,
for email copies and everything else, you would have to do it manually, unless support can give you any technical support to be able to do it faster. You can reach out to support once.
okay, so better I write to the email and ask them.
Support at
Mhm.
zenler.com. I'll just put it on the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that is one of my questions. I later make another another one.
Okay. All right. So I'll take questions from others and then I'll come back to you.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
interesting, Naomi, because my question is also about dealing with sites as opposed to content inside a course or something.
You know, a
Um,
lot of times I have seen that on live sessions, somehow one topic becomes the theme of the session. Everybody has similar questions. Everybody would talk about lives, everybody would talk about emails. And by the end of the session, I feel, oh, was it the theme of the session? And none of us comes prepared. It's just a simple Q&A, but
yeah,
like-minded people in the same community, I think.
yeah. And Naomi, I've tried asking this question different times, phrase the question differently to see if I would get a different answer. The answer is always the same. No, you cannot just go copy over here because I wanted to do the same thing. Actually, we ended up selling UQuest to some professional instructors, and they have created a New Zenler account and are replicating the site on the new one. But what they've had to do is, in fact, create from scratch. And my question here was going to be, or is, so I have UQuest in my, like that's one of my three accounts, okay? And I want to reuse what's my UQuest account for a new domain, Zalix Systems, which is focused on AI. So I'm thinking, okay, how do I do that? Do I have to just delete everything? Or the solution I'll probably use is just to unpublish all of the courses and pages. Yeah, so everything is then hidden from the public, and then I can change the domain to Zalix Systems instead of UQuest and start building the Zalix Systems content in there. This way, and the reason I'm going this way is because Perry, who's creating the new UQuest, he may come back in 2 or 3 months and say, oh, John, I need to get this from the old UQuest site. And if I delete it, then it won't be available. But if I just unpublish, then I can go back, copy the content that he needs, and share it with him as separate files. But yeah, I was hoping that that support or the text would say, "Oh yeah, push this button," and it would just go like that.
That is possible. Unpublishing the pages is possible.
Yes.
But I would say it would be a bit manual of a task. You can unpublish courses, pages, content, everything to hide it from the public and only keep it in the account. However, it will have to be a manual process that the team would have to do for each of the page in the course.
You would
So should
think
I?
that Zenler would
Yeah,
have a magic AI button, right?
I wish so.
And actually, the reason, Naomi, I kept asking the question in different ways is I was thinking that on the Zenler databases, that there is some place where it says uquest.com, and all they have to do is change that name to zalexsystems.com, and everything is taken care of. Doesn't work that way. So, Manmeet, the reason I came on was to ask if people have done this, reusing a site for a new domain, and what you learned as best practices.
Okay, could you come once again with that question?
You want me to restate the question?
Yes, if you could restate the question.
Sure.
Yeah.
Has anybody reused an existing website, one of their 3 or one of their 10, to go from one domain to using it for a different domain? And what were the best practices, if people have done that? What were lessons learned and best practices from their experience?
Okay. I have not known of such a case where a person has done this, but from my experience, I can say, if at all you were changing let's say there are two scenarios, is what I understand. Let's say you have website A, which has, let's say, content about plants and trees. It has content about plants and trees. And you want to change the whole site, as in the custom domain has to be changed and other things have to be changed. So what I would do is, because the content remains the same inside the site, so what we would do is we would go ahead and change the custom domain, and automatically everything else in the website will change. The links, the courses, the pages, automatically as the custom domain is changed, everything in the site would change. So you would not have to do a lot of work. Maybe if you're changing the branding also, then maybe a few colors that are added here and there manually that need to be changed. Or you go to the settings and in the branding section of Zenler, change the colors also, change the custom domain, and you have yourself a new site with the existing content that you wanted. So you've repositioned yourself. That is easily doable. Now, second scenario is where you have two businesses on the same site and now you want to split the businesses. That is where more, manual work comes in, because now what you will do is you will keep one custom domain and one color branding for one of your business, and the other business has to move out. For that other business to move out, I am afraid that everything has to be done manually. But for your pages, what can be done is your design can be quickly picked up with the code. I am not sure if you've seen videos from David where, he goes to the section, he copies the code and you paste it in any other Zenler site. Like, for example, today I could give you a template. You could copy the code and import that template into your site. So it is cross Zenler sites, apart from if it's your own site or not. So it can happen to any site. So to pick up designs, that is the fastest way. Pick up the codes, put it on your other site and create pages as soon as possible. And then for the emails and everything else that is built in, automations basically, that needs to be done manually.
Good,
That's
thank you.
or the easiest way is hire a VA and tell her or him to do the job.
Yes, which is taking like a video that you uploaded or the PDF or whatever,
Correct.
copy it off and then copy it into the thing.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Were you done, John? I don't want to.
Yes, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. Can I jump in? Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Jen.
This is probably extremely basic. I've been on the line or on the phone all morning with GoDaddy. Right now I have my site on GoDaddy, and I want to switch everything over. So I've been building on my pages in New Zenler, and that's fine. So I'm ready to I'm going to keep my domain with GoDaddy because you all cannot do domains, correct? Okay. So I would bring that over. Now, the big question comes to the email. I have an email that I'm paying like $90 a year for with them. It's through Microsoft, which I don't want to use. And it's my name at my website.com. So it looks very professional. This is what, and they have messed it up. We won't go into all that, but I talked to a guy this morning, very helpful. And he said the only two providers that can do that are either Google or Microsoft. If you want to have your name and then the website as your .com. So I really don't want to have to pay extra. I don't know how much. I know it looks better, but I have a lot of people I deal with that have their so-and-so at Gmail or so-and-so at wherever it is. How important is that? And what he told me, is that correct? Is the only way that I can get Jane at whatever is to pay one of these two sources to do that?
Yes, he is absolutely correct.
Mm,
You can buy a domain from anywhere,
right.
but to be able to host an email on that domain, you need a provider. You need a service provider that will let you handle the inbox. And the only two ways is Google Workspace, which is G Suite, paid
Yeah.
to have your account, which I think is about $5 or $10 a month, if I'm not wrong. $5 to $10 a month for one inbox, for one email ID, and gives you all the features like Gmail. The only difference is it's a professional email ID. The other is Microsoft Outlook, where you can host your
Mm-hmm.
email and Outlook account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so having said that, if you are using the paid version of Outlook, that is when you might have to pay those $90, because one of the options that is also available is Microsoft is different and Outlook is different. On Outlook, you can create, I don't know if this might get too technical for you. You can create an email ID, which is jane@yourwebsite.com.
Mm-hmm.
Inside your hosting, free of cost. They'll not charge you to create the email. It is, with the hosting that you buy at some places, for example, on Hostinger, when you buy the hosting, so they give you 100 aliases emails free of cost as a part of the plan. Some providers do, some don't. So in case your hosting provides creating that email for free, just the email, not the inbox,
Mm-hmm.
just the email for free, you can go to Outlook, put in a few codes and numbers that the Outlook would require, and host your inbox for free. Then you don't have to pay anything.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
just it's like a monopoly. I'm like, wait a minute, because I also have an account with ConvertKit, but I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and do everything through Zenler and take it one baby step at a time. And if it's not sufficient, then I'll go ahead. But it's like, you got to be kidding me. The email was the biggest pain. Because it seems like, oh yeah, just do that and you have your custom because it looks so professional. But I'm like, you're kidding me. It's either Google or that. And I don't even know if G Suite exists anymore because it's now they have it divided out weird. I've been looking, it's like Workplace and then
Workspace.
I forget Workspace. Yeah. And then there's another thing. So I'm like, what? And they're raising their prices all the time. So
Yeah. You can
that's
use
what's
this
bothering
way if
me.
you would want. You can. And the question that you asked, how important it is, it's 200% important, because if you do not use a professional ID for doing email marketing, deliverability can actually be, a cause of not reaching your customers. Personally,
Okay.
those are not very appreciated when you're doing professional marketing. You're expected to use a
Okay.
professional email during marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah, I'd love to hear anybody else. Yeah.
All right. I think
Manmeet,
I have.
I've got a
Yeah.
comment for Jane.
Okay.
I use Namecheap. Namecheap provides domain registration and so on, but they also have email. It's called private email. So my email now for both xalexsystems.com, playitcreation.com, exitplus.com. I've got it with Namecheap. Okay, so John at playitcreation is not with Google. Well, actually, so sorry, that one is with Google. But the xalexsystems.com and the exitplus.com are with Namecheap. Okay, so if you go to Namecheap and on there you'll see private email.
Thank you. I will check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was it.
All right, I have some questions from Vion. I'll just take those questions and I'll go to other members in the room. Why am I seeing purple elements? Is it in your dashboard?
No, when I'm trying to create a page. So I create an element, which an element is green, isn't it? It's a green box. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you put a red row in. And then if I want to sort of edit it, I try and click on the green box and it turns purple.
That could just be because Zenler's branding has changed. The new branding of Zenler has purple color. So maybe there is just an brand update inside the dashboard. That could be just that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. The second question is, can I reduce the size of the bullets in a row list? Yes, that should be possible. If you reduce the font size, you should be able to reduce the bullets in a row as well. The
The only,
bullets.
sorry, Nami.
Yeah.
The only thing is it reduces the text as well.
Okay.
So I want to reduce the bullets, but not the text.
Okay. I will have to test this once to see because I do not remember it on the top of my mind. So I'll just have to test it once. I'll do
Okay.
that in a short while.
Thank you.
Why isn't the timer showing in the mobile view? It should. There's no chance that it should not show on a mobile view. Did you test it on your device, mobile device?
Yes, I have. I haven't published it yet, so I'm testing it all within Pages on Zenler.
Yeah. I would say that because on your mobile you can't see it until and unless it's published, because on the mobile you are not in the admin view, right?
Right.
So maybe you're not able to see it because it's not published as of now. So publish it and then see it once.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay. Okay. Can you slant an image? Slant an image as in you're trying to upload an image like this?
Yes.
I think that the best way possible would be if you keep the design of your image like this. So even if you upload it to a square, it will be uploaded like this only. So you download the design like this.
But
Where are you taking your image from?
the design, it's just from my from my folders. They're images I've got in my folders and they're all square. And I want to try and sort of slant one.
I think that needs to be tested. If it is something could be done with the padding and the margin maybe, but I think there might not be a direct way to be able to click that slant the image. You can slant text, but I don't think there's a direct option in Zenler right now to slant the image. That's why I thought maybe you put that image on Canva, you slant the image, download the one and upload it as a slanted image.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've not used Canva yet. I'll have to try that. So do you need Canva to slant text as well?
No. For the text, you can just simply select the entire text, and there is an option in the text element of Zenler, which is an eye, slanted eye. So you can select that and the text will be slanted.
Oh, I thought that was italic. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you.
All right. So I think we have Norma and Brian. I think Brian came in first, or did Norma? I don't remember now. I'm happy to take questions from anyone who has a question right now.
Okay. I apologize for the blackout, but I have you hooked up to my flat screen and the computer itself is facing the wall, so I have the camera off. So, quick question. I also have my website going through GoDaddy. there's some issues with it, but I've got basically, as soon as they schedule a lesson from the website, it goes directly to Zenler, where I have a sales page set up. And so when you click on schedule a meeting or a consultation, it then directs them from Zenler to the calendar. Now, the problem is with Zenler's calendar, unless I'm mistakenly using this, I don't know, it seems very busy to me. And just to ask a potential student to be able to schedule their own lesson, it seems like there's a lot of too many bells and whistles going on. And I found that Calendly is a little more straightforward. They simply show you a calendar, they show you availabilities, you click on the date, you click on the time, you get a thank you, and you're done. You see an invite in your email box. The problem that I have with Zenler is it just seems like there's so much that the student is asked to do, it can become very confusing unless I'm on the wrong page. So I have two questions. One, is there a way to link Calendly to Zenler so that, because right now there doesn't seem to be any way for me to link Calendly up to Zenler's Zoom, which is what I want to do. I want to be able to use Zenler's Zoom with Calendly, but I can't figure out a way to connect those two together. Secondly, if that's not possible, is there a calendar that works on Zenler that is as straightforward and simple and basic? Because when I clicked on Zenler's calendar, I mean, you went through stages to create the lesson, and then there were like 4 or 5 pages that you received. I have no idea what those are for. So there you are.
All right. So I'll answer both those questions. Number one, it is not possible to connect Calendly and Zenler Zoom because Zenler Zoom is an enterprise level Zoom that you have access to. So you do not have access to the account of Zoom, but features of Zoom. That is why you would not be able to connect Calendly and Zoom. What you can do is you can have the custom code of Calendly posted on Zenler's page so that your calendar appears in your site only. It does not have to be an external link. But once someone books a call, they would have to book it on an external Zoom. Having said that, what you can do is in Zenler, there is an option called bring your own Zoom. If you connect your own if you connect your own Zoom account, that would mean it's your Zoom account, your Calendly, and you can work through it. So you would not be able to connect Zenler Zoom, but your own Zoom account. Second,
This means
I
would have to have my own Zoom account then, which is a paid subscription because the free Zoom only allows for a 40-minute meeting, and I'm hosting hour-long meetings.
Correct.
Okay. And continue with what you're saying?
Yeah, sorry?
Continue.
Okay. The second question where you asked if you have something like Calendly inside Zenler. As of this moment, what Zenler is built in for is the live classes and the curriculum sessions, the webinars that are done for the leads and the students. So you can book your own slots, but it is manual at the moment. You do not have a window where you can go and say, okay, I'm available 9 to 5 at 20-minute buffers, Monday to Thursday, and your calendar is set. You would have to manually choose in one day how many slots you want to open, how many slots in 1 week you want to open. That is definitely there. So if you want something as convenient as you're looking at, then right now Calendly is your best option. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Hi, Norma. How can I help you?
Hi. Well, Brian's just asked one of my questions, so that's that one done. The second thing was I'd like to put a button on my homepage that says book a call. And I just wondered how I set that up to book a call to put to Calendly so that obviously people can get me.
Yeah. You can do that using a dynamic section, which is a footer. So if you set a dynamic option as footer, once you make a change in it, that change will apply to all your pages. For
Right,
example,
okay.
we have a dynamic header and footer on the website, right? So if you add anything to the footer once, it will automatically go to all other pages. Otherwise, it will have to become a manual task for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, Onsa. How can I help you?
No, I was just trying to understand. I was just listening in. I've got lots of stuff that I'm working on, but I just wanted to see how the session worked. And then I might pop back in when later on when I've actually got the question. I just wanted to see how it worked.
Is it the first time that you're attending this session?
Yeah, I only found out when we did the tour of Zenler. I just didn't understand how it all worked. So all this
How
time,
is that possible? You've
yeah,
been so active in Zenler for so long. I remember you attending the marketing
marketing.
workshop with me
Yeah,
last year, which happened in
yeah,
February, almost a year. And you
yeah.
never have been on this session. How on Zenler is
Realize,
that
I
possible?
didn't realize. I actually asked the question when we had a Q&A this week. I'm like, so how
Yeah.
else can I get help? And they're like, you sit here waiting to ask questions. I'm like, no way. I thought, let me just go and check it out.
You know
So
what?
yeah,
This session happens every week for 2 hours.
yeah, that's what I thought. Let's just go in and see what it's like, and then I'll be in with all my questions. So I'm actually setting up my membership group at the moment, and there's a couple of things that I'd forgotten to do. So what I'm working on now is setting up all of of these devotions at work every 2 a month, every 15 days. I'm setting up the drip feeds for those and all of the emails, and then on the Facebook group, David was saying, rather than just testing it every 15 days, I could actually go in and change it to like 1 a minute and just to see if it fires off properly. So I'm just finishing writing those up and then I'm going to have a go. If it doesn't work, I'll be back on. But that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Happy to have you here. All right, Naomi, you had more questions. I'm happy to answer more questions for you now.
Thank you, Manmeet. My other question was during the Zenler tour, when you talk about the sessions, no, the webinar live webinar sessions, and I asked you how if it was possible to create a group of 4 monthly sessions, and then if anyone want to join just one session, if they can join to the same link within these 4 monthly sessions. And you said, yes, it was possible, but I don't know how to do it because I tried to test it and it didn't work. So I don't know how to set it.
Okay, so can you tell me that these 2 different types of people that you're trying to target, is it both your paid customers or is it some are people who are attending it for free, some
Paid
are paid,
customers. Paid
all
customers.
paid customers?
Yes.
But these are people from different programs, is it?
It's the same. I mean, for the yoga classes are the same. It's the same class. It's just that if people just want to join to one class, they join to the same link, Zoom link.
Okay, so just to understand a little bit again, when you're creating these sessions, do you have different types of sessions for people or how is it?
There are, it's the same day at the same time. And it's like a package of 4 classes in a month,
Okay.
within the month. And if someone just want to try one class, they can pay that only class, but I want them to join the same link as they have in the package of 4 classes.
All right, understood. Okay, so here's what you can do. First of all, you will have to sell this as a course, because if you sell it as a live webinar or live interactive webinar, your dates and times will be a part of that, right? It will be based on the date and time. So one, you will have to sell it as a course. Second, you will have to use tier system in Zenler. So what tier system in Zenler does, it allows people to choose certain part of the program and pay accordingly. For example, when you create a course, you have 4 pricing plans. You say pricing plan 1 is $50. I'm going to give you all 4 sessions. Pricing plan 2 is you get 1 session, $15. Pricing plan 2 is you get 2 sessions, $30. Pricing plan 3 is you get 3 sessions, $45. Something like that. So if anybody wants all sessions, they pay for 4. If somebody wants 1 session, they pay for 1. If somebody wants 2 sessions, they pay for 2. Then what you would have to do is, in your email automations, you would have to create manual emails for all the dates and times you are doing the sessions. While you are doing that, now this is where you need to listen very carefully, and you can always watch the recording. You need to create a one-to-one booking. Why am I saying one-to-one booking? Is because it has an invite link that bypasses the registration. It's called one-to-one booking, but it's not that it is restricted to one person. You can increase the number of people as well. And that number is valid when you're taking registration. You're not taking any registration. So the number is invalid. As many people as you want can join. Like today, we are running a one-to-one booking and all of you have joined without any registration. You clicked on a link and you got into the room. That is how you will create a one-to-one booking. Using the one-to-one booking, you can also add it in the curriculum as a part of the course for people to go in the course and click and join the session if that's how they want. Or you pick up the invite link and you put it in your email automations for people to click on a link and join, so that they don't have to pay again, they don't have to register again, and they can join the session. So anybody, for example, let's say me, John, and Jane buy 3 types of sessions. I buy only 1 session, John buys 2 sessions, and Jane buys 3 sessions. All of us will use the links that you have created to join the sessions, but I will only join the session that I have paid for. John can only join the session he has paid for, because you're using the tier system. So in the tier system, emails set for me go to me, email set for John go to John, email set for Jane go to Jane. So you'll have to work on it a little bit to be able to divide everything. That's how you can use one course, one-to-one booking, and a tier system to achieve this.
And the tier
I hope this
system,
helps.
and the tier system is in the automation, or where, or
This
how
is
do I
not
set it?
okay. So this would be in the pricing. The tier system is in the pricing plan.
Ah,
I'll show-
okay, yeah. I understood. Okay,
Yeah.
it's clear. Okay, thank you so much.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, because it was just what I wanted to, not to do it manually, but in the way the people pay, they
Right.
join in the same session.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, will you send this recording in order to follow step by step what you said?
This is already in Facebook. If you go to the Facebook event that we have, you will find the recording there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Is there anybody that I can answer a question for? And like Nomi mentioned, and Onsa as well, we had the Zenler tour going on. We just finished on Thursday. There were 11 sessions and we covered everything extensively, from lives to blogs to email marketing to page builders. Anything that you would want to understand about the Zenler system can be found in these 11 sessions. They are already in the Facebook as recording and very soon going up on YouTube. If you want, you can always take a look and get your hands on how to use the Zenler system.
Manmeet, I've got a
Yes.
clarification for what you said to Noemi about tiers.
Yeah.
So in the example that you gave where you bought, say, the bronze level and I bought the silver level and Jane bought the gold level. So in the bronze tier, in the course, the tier would include a lesson that has the one course, sorry, the one live that everybody could attend. Tier
Yeah,
two would have that lesson plus one other lesson that includes the link
correct,
for the second live. And then
correct.
tier three would
Yeah,
have lesson one, lesson two, and lesson three. And that's how you would set up the
correct,
tiers?
correct,
Okay.
correct. Yeah,
Okay. Good. Thank you.
my pleasure.
Mammy, I just wanted to say, oh, sorry, someone else there.
No, no, please go ahead.
Was it? It's just me. Um, the seminars or whatever you call them, workshops have been brilliant. I've not watched the fourth one yet because I keep going over the second and third again and again. I think I've watched one of them nearly 4 times and I'm still picking up new things every time. But while I was away, I tried to slant the text that I was referring to earlier,
Right.
and I can't find how to do that. So can you be a bit more specific for me? If I highlight some text, what do I do? Where do I go?
Okay, so you're trying to say that you selected the text, but it doesn't become slant?
Yeah.
Okay. Like you were saying the last time, isn't italics slant? Because the moment you do it italics, it becomes slant, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're using the italics, but it is not becoming slant, is it?
Oh, sorry, I meant as in a box. So rather than the text being square on, it becomes sort of diagonal.
Oh, I think that would require some little bit of coding on your end to be able to do that.
Oh,
If you want the entire box to be slanted.
oh, I see. Yeah, that's what I was referring
I
to.
thought it was only the text. So text can be done, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire box, you would need some kind of custom coding.
Okay, thanks. I'll look into that. Now, remind me, were they talking about an email address to send off suggestions to?
Yes, that's feedback.zenler.com.
Feedback dot. I'll
Yes,
just write that down.
feedback.zenler.com.
And another question that's just come to me, is it preferable to sell your courses in dollars? I mean, obviously I'm in the UK and I'll set it up as pounds. Is it better to do it in dollars?
Come again?
Is it preferable to price your courses in dollars rather than UK pounds?
I would answer this question depending upon where does your audience come from. If most of and where you are you in the UK?
I'm in the UK, but potentially my audience could be global.
Okay. And when you say your audience could be global, currently the people that you have, what is the ratio of people? Are they more from UK or are they more global?
They're more from UK, but really we haven't advertised properly yet. So I think that's
Okay.
one.
So I would say that you can keep the prices in UK as long as your current customers are there, if they are on subscriptions or anything of that sort. Because the moment you put it on dollars, they would have to pay conversion fees to make payments to you. And then, that kind of system will go in. Once you have more global audience, let's say the ratio changes, you have 70% UK now and 30% global, and it changes to 70% being global and 30% UK. That is when you should go to dollars because then your audience will understand and spot you. But for small group of people, changing a larger group would only disrupt some of your income that is already coming in.
Right, thank you.
Manmeet, a clarification about
Yes.
using the I for a bunch of text. That makes the text italic,
Correct.
but you cannot control the angle of the italicization, whatever the word is.
Yes.
If you want to make it at 30 degrees instead of 45 degrees or something, you can't do that with the
Correct.
I. Okay.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Quick question too. You're
Yes.
talking about Canva. I used to have a pro account and I canceled it. I just had the regular one, but I do have Adobe Express, which is becoming, I think they're like in competition. Can I get that over to Zenler if I design something in Adobe Express, just like I would Canva?
There is a possibility. I have heard of this, but I would, I would suggest you to go on YouTube and do this because I've seen a lot of
Okay.
people doing their designs on Adobe because it's the most professional software for graphic. Then they export it and they import it in Canva for the ease of moving things. They get the basic layout of the design on Adobe, and then the other things like the text, the logo, and things like that, they do it on Canva for the ease of, moving things around. So that is possible. You would just have to maybe see a couple of videos to understand how it's doable.
Okay. Okay, Adobe Express is different. Like I have the package, I have Illustrator, Photoshop, the whole thing. Express
Correct.
is like Canva. It is like a quick design thing. They've added it.
Then
It's
maybe
not-
I'm
it-
not. Then maybe I'm not aware of it.
That's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
one
it's
second. Let me just
they
quickly.
had it for a bit and then they didn't, it was, okay, fine. And then now they've upped their game. And you can do a lot in it. You can even edit your video in it. I mean, not hugely, but
Oh.
and it's free. Yeah, they have it. But if you have the suite, everything's pretty much free. But this is, I think, free now for just about everybody. And I just got tired. Every time I clicked on Canva, it was always the pro ones that I wanted. And I didn't want to pay anymore. And I have Adobe,
Yeah.
so it was silly not to use it. So, I mean, I can try it and see. I usually do it on my own anyway and forget I even have that. But just in case I wanted to use it, I thought I'd check.
I think that should be doable because, I think that is doable because one thing I've seen on Canva is sometimes when I don't get access to a particular design or something that I'm working on and I need to be quick at it, I simply import a design on Canva, and 99% of the times I get all the elements imported automatically and they become editable. Very few times I have seen a design on, so I'm talking about Illustrator designs. So if any Illustrator design goes on Canva, 90%, 95% of the time, all elements will become clickable and editable. I can move anything around and change the design. Very few times if a combination of design has been used, like maybe a background, some kind of circular designs or something, and they're hooked together in some way, that I'm not able to change or I don't have control over it. Otherwise, 95% of things become editable as soon as I import. So if I import a PDF or a design or anything, only if I import an image, that imports as an image only, and I can only do it an image. I don't get text editable. But if I change it to a PDF or this kind of a sort, it becomes editable as when you put it in Canva. So I think on Adobe Express as well, if you edit anything, it will automatically become editable on Canva. Just export it as PDF.
And a quick question going back to the payment
Yes.
system. When I integrate PayPal, will this give them the opportunity to use PayPal credit as well as whatever credit card they have associated with PayPal, or does it exclude PayPal credit?
No, I think when you say PayPal, it is the user and what options does PayPal give them. If PayPal gives them debit, credit, and all sorts of options, and PayPal credit also, that's absolutely okay. For you, you will receive the payment the way it has to hit your account. What is of the credit and anything that PayPal is offering is between PayPal and that particular vendor. You would get your payment hitting, your bank.
Okay, so my payment would be the same as if it went through, because it does go through New Zenler, right?
Correct. It does go through New Zenler, but what I'm saying is, let's say, for example, I am a user buying on your site, and PayPal gives me an option to divide my payments. PayPal gives me an option to pay $300 in 3 months. I pay 3 weeks. I pay $100 a week. So for you, you will get your $300 in one shot. But PayPal would get $100 from me or whatever card I'm using, like depending upon what the dynamics are. The card will get those $100 from me on a weekly basis, but you would get your money. So depending upon whatever they're using, you will get your money, and then the card or system or whatever they're using, then that's that and the client. It's between them.
The regular Stripe, when somebody pays through that, what is the typical timeline from the time that, because I've been advised by Stripe that I received a payment, but the payment hasn't yet hit the bank. Can you give me an idea what the time frame is between the time that the payment is made and the time it actually hits my bank?
I think this is something the Stripe team can confirm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for joining today. Any more questions that I can help you with?
No, I'm going to jump off and go and get on with some work. And if you're still here, I'll come back. Okay, but thank you.
Absolutely.
That's really brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Ansa.
Yeah, me too. Thank you
Yeah,
so
and me.
much. It's really
Yeah, thank you
helpful.
very much.
Thank you, Manny.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Nora.
Bye, thank
Okay,
you.
have a good day. Are there any more things, Bjorn, I can help you with? What are you working on? You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, what I've done, I've duplicated a page and I've hidden it. So, I'm sort of fiddling about with it and I'm trying out all different options of what I've learned, on the workshops. And yeah, I'm still struggling a bit with things looking different in mobile image. Now, I haven't actually published the page yet. But when you're in pages and you click on that little icon at the top and it will show you the different views, I would have thought that it would come up there with how it would look when it's published. Is that wrong?
I would say there is always a slight difference because what appears in the dashboard is not always 100% the same. Why? Because every phone device comes with a little bit of a different variation. So when you test that on a few devices where the brand is different, you would see there's a bit of a differentiation. So we always say that whenever you're making mobile changes, keep testing it on a real device because you're technically just reducing the size on the desktop screen and editing it. It's still a prototype. So always test it on a real device to see how it is looking.
Okay, I'll have to play around with it because I've done some columns with some bulleted lists in, and I just can't get them to sort of line up properly. But I'll have to check it out. One thing I found that I'd done wrong, I'd been using space like line spacing, no, not line spacing, like margin spaces and padding. I'd used that a lot to set it up in desktop view, and it looked fine. And of course, when I looked in tablet and mobile, it was all over the place. So I've spent time taking all that out, and it's definitely improved some of it. But in other places, the font seems the same size throughout on all three different devices. So it's quite a lot of mucking around, actually, isn't it?
It does. It does take a little while to test the pages on the real device for sure.
Mm. Oh, well, I'll just plod on and, once I've got this sorted out, I shall go on to the next workshop and hopefully they'll be there for a long time.
Absolutely. This one is always going to is also going to be there. The recordings are going to be there, and you can always catch the recordings and make sure that you catch up to speed.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. Well, thanks a lot. Till next time.
Thank you, Bjorn. Thank you.
Bye.
We have covered tons of questions today. if you watch the starting of the session for an hour or so, we've answered a lot of questions about memberships, about pricing, about cloning sites, about adding sites, and about the tour of Zenler workshop that has happened, about the marketing workshop, and so much support that you can get from Zenler. If you are watching us live on Facebook, this Zenler support session happens every Thursday at 4 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. UK time, where we answer all your questions that you want to get answered and need support with. So if you're looking to get any questions answered, hop onto the call at 4 p.m. UK time every Thursday. I will see you around on next Thursday at the Zenler Live Educational Desk. Until then, bye-bye.